Hello and welcome back to the KCC channel. I'm Rob and I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today, we're jumping into some True Off My Chest. Before we start, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's completely free and you can always change your mind later. But if you stick around, there might just be some tasty cookies in your near future. And I've got to give a little hint now that something about cookies will be appearing on KCC soon. This story with update comes to us from OwnRepeat8143. I thought I had forgiven my husband for cheating on me until I fell in love with someone else. Let's jump right in. Throwaway and fake names for obvious reasons. Also, apologies for the strange phrasings. Writing is not my strongest suit. I, 34 female, have been with my husband Will, 38 male, for 10 years, married for 7. We have a child, 5 male. 4 years ago, I found out he was having an affair. A story as old as time itself, the classic signs were all there. Distant, long work hours, smiling at his phone, etc. So one day after he went to bed, I checked his phone. Found out it was the fresh graduate, 23 female at that time, that joined his company the previous year. From the messages, it was PA and EA that has been going on for at least 6 months. The cheap hotel nookies was hard to read about, but what was worse was how emotionally connected he was, calling each other nicknames, doing things that were historically our things. No, it was too much. I took all screenshots, packed bags for my kids and I, called my brother to come pick me up for my parents' house, and when my brother was here, woke my husband to tell him I was leaving. By the end of the week, I had already had a consultation with the lawyer. There was no going back. For the next 2 years, yes, years, not months, my husband tried relentlessly to win me back. He did everything, and he did everything right. Begging and groveling, said he was blinded by the attention he got, cut off the girl immediately, switched jobs within 2 months, booked counseling sessions that he begged me to attend, made progress in counseling, read books, you name it. He was visiting our son almost every day after work and weekends. When he wasn't here, he would text me where he was, also shared his location. I saw genuine and consistent change and remorse in him, and after 6 months, me and the baby moved back with him. Things did get better and better every day for the next 1.5 years until we reached the normal state that we are at now. I can't explain why or what it is, but during the last 4 years, I feel like I have been in an emotional limbo. Things are normal, as I said. We go on dates, have nookies, have family, just like before, but I feel emotionally detached from him, like I can't be all in. I know I have forgiven him, and now I don't even think about the affair every day. Neither do I have any reason to doubt him anymore, but I also don't feel this love for him like before. He seems to think we are back to our old relationship, but I feel like we are very friendly roommates that smile and wave and just go with the flow. I thought this was my new reality, and I was never going to get the old me back until I met Jake. I met Jake, 35 male, about a year ago on our local subreddit. He posted about a hobby we share, and I commented. It's a rather uncommon hobby, so not many people have interest in it. Then DMs, chit-chat, and such. The first month was nothing but talk of this hobby. Then we slowly started to get to know each other. He is a widower, and I told him I have a family. We met a few times for coffee after work and for the hobby. Yes, my husband knows that I'm meeting this new friend Jake for the hobby. He doesn't know I found Jake on Reddit. I don't know how to word it properly, but I am finally happy and back to my old self. And the reason for that is Jake. We have fallen for each other over the last year and have confessed our feelings for each other. I never thought I would feel this way again, and yet, here I am. We have never done anything physical, only met in public, but this is certainly emotional infidelity towards my husband. On one hand, I understand that emotions are not rational, and it is my husband's doing that we are here. But on the other hand, I feel extremely guilty because he has been trying so hard to reconcile. I also feel so angry at him these days for putting me in this position. Also, in the middle of all this, I am in pain that I cannot be with Jake and am shackled to my married life. Jake says he understands my duties as a mother and would never ask me to do anything I didn't want to, but he was there for me and my kid if I wanted. I don't know why I made this post, maybe to clear my head. What do I do? Where do I go from here? Do I torpedo my marriage and all the hard work we have put into reconciliation to pursue a fling with someone I just met that may or may not turn into anything serious? Do I wipe him out and go back to whatever limbo of a marriage that I have left and just suck it up? Jumping down to the comment section on this one, there's one from a user called AdditionalWay1346. It says, "You stayed for various reasons but still held resentment. The relationship is not the same anymore. Before you met Jake, your feelings towards your husband had already changed. You detached from him since the affair. All the things you described that he shared with AP were no longer ours. He caused immense pain and betrayed a trust that is no longer the same. Do what's best for you. If you no longer love him, it's best to let him go. Best to be honest, the affair broke the attachment and trust you once held for him. There is no way of erasing what he did to you and the pain inflicted. You have love for him as your son's father, but that's it from what you're describing. Don't go on with a facade and loveless marriage. It's unfair to both of you." Another user named PeakPip responded to this comment and said, "You need to divorce him. It would be best for you and him. You might forgive him, but just because you forgive him doesn't mean you have to accept him as your husband anymore. Please leave so you can be in love without hurting yourself with guilt and hurting him and possible for parenting in the future." Okay, I have to be honest, if my wife cheated on me, I would never be able to get that out of my head. Even if we reconciled, years and years and years down the road, it would still be in the back of my head going, they did it once, are they gonna do it again? Do they really love me? What was wrong with me that made them do that? That is not a way to live. OP, it sounds like you need to get out of this relationship. Let's jump into OP's update and see where it's gone. Update: I thought I had forgiven my husband for cheating on me until I fell in love with someone else. Let's jump right in. I made a post here in early January about my husband's affair and subsequently my EA. It's in my profile. The TLDR of that is that my husband cheated years ago. We worked on reconciliation and move on, or so I thought, until I met someone else a year ago that made me realize I have not healed as well as I thought. And I fell for this new man. Thank you to everyone who read it and commented, most of which were surprisingly supportive. I don't know why I even made the original post. I guess I was feeling really down around Christmas and New Year's and just wanted to vent and even have someone to talk some sense into me. But Redditors have helped me see things more clearly, and I am grateful to you for that. A lot has happened since then, but if you didn't want to read it all, here's the summary. I have started the divorce proceedings with my husband, and we're working out the legalities. I don't know where I stand with Jake. First, answers to some frequently asked questions. Yes, we both have jobs and financial independence. Is my husband still cheating on me? Well, I honestly couldn't say. But based on the data I have on hand, his behavior, his phone activity, involvement with the kid and myself, time accounted for, no work travels or anything, I'm fairly certain he's not. But who knows if he's a master manipulator? The hobby that we share is fairly niche, and I don't want to reveal it in case someone identifies us. We have made other friends there too. But it's nothing sporty or physical. Think more like pottery or painting, although they aren't niche. Some people asked why I haven't given any thought to my son in all this. I think they're missing the point. Firstly, what relevant info could I post about him? And secondly, why do you think I reconciled with my husband? Certainly not for me. Whatever we decide, our son will be our priority and will be taken care of. I'll keep him out of this post too. On to the update. I read all the comments and all that was said here, and finally had the courage to admit that yes, this was a sham marriage. I was not proud of my own actions, but I had to go. A few days after I posted, I went out with Jake. I told him I couldn't do this right now. This wasn't me, and more importantly, I needed to focus on my mess. I don't know what the future holds, but for now, we'd have to stop. He said he understood and supported my decision, and would be here if I ever wanted to reach out. That's the end of that. In the meantime, I disclosed some of this to my closest friends and family. They all supported me and have been there for me. My best friend also helped me plan and process all this, find a lawyer, go to appointments, etc. I have been strategizing the legal aspects for the last couple of months. About 2 weeks ago, I had a sit down with my husband and asked him for a divorce. It wasn't pretty. He was surprised, desperate, sad, angry. A lot was said, some of which I am not proud of. He begged me to work on it, was surprised when I brought up his affair, was angry that I led him on for 4 years, to which I asked him if he was sad because he missed out on his chance with AP. Because, let's face it, cheaters beg for their partner, and when the partner turns them down, they go right back to AP, as if they had a backup plan all along. This hurt him a lot and I shouldn't have said it, but I've been thinking about it for 4 years. I told him all about Jake as well, but made it clear that regardless of that, I'll be leaving. I just couldn't trust him anymore. I was at my lowest point during a very difficult pregnancy and birth, all of which he was there for. He saw me struggle to breastfeed the baby, suffer from sleep deprivation, go through all of this. Instead of supporting his wife and son, how did he have the time to go have an affair? I can't wrap my head around. He has been sleeping in the guest room since then, we have had many conversations since then, and I think he is finally getting around to accepting that it's over. He'll move out this weekend. We've agreed to keep things civil, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you for taking the time to read it. Keep me in your prayers. Good night. Jumping down to the comments on this one, there's one from a user called Nerdy Latino. It says, I think OP felt like she had to forgive him because he put a lot of effort into being forgiven. Like, have you ever gotten a gift that you didn't like at all, but had to pretend to love it because you know it was really expensive? Yeah. Along those same lines, another user called Ned Said It commented, she was willing to tell herself she was happy to make everyone else's life easier, but he broke her heart. People sometimes figure those things out, but the fact he did it around the birth of the child would be unforgivable for me. I'm glad she is giving herself permission to be happy. OP, I'm so glad to hear that you're putting yourself first. Who knows how things are going to work out with Jake, but it's worth a shot at being happy. Because in your current relationship, that definitely wasn't happening. And as I mentioned in the comments on the first part, that affair was going to hang over you for the rest of your relationship. I hope your divorce proceedings go through without any complications, and I really hope you guys can get along afterwards because that is the best thing for your child. Good luck, OP, from all of us here at KCC. This story comes to us from OKRoll1515. My ex came back demanding I pay her child support. Let's jump right in. 7 years ago, I was married to my dear ex. We were together for 6 years at this point. I thought we had a great relationship. A year prior, I received a nice inheritance. I used the money to buy a condo for us to live, a new car for her because hers was falling apart, as a thank you for her constant support over the years, and the rest went to starting my own company. I thought we loved each other. We had talked endless times about kids. We both wanted a family. One day, I came home from work, she was seated on the couch and signaled for me to sit with her. Then she told me she was pregnant. I was happy for like half a millisecond. I always wanted kids. But when I realized about the impossibility of this happening, because we were both cis women, I started to cry for what it meant. Then she started to cry and say sorry, but that this could be a good thing now. Incredulously, I asked how on earth this could be a good thing. She said that this could be the perfect opportunity for us to have the family we always wanted. I didn't have the energy to argue at the moment, so I went and packed some things and told her I was going to be staying with my cousin for a few days and come back to talk. It was a complete disaster with my cousin for a week. Then I returned, said I wanted a divorce, packed all the rest of my things while she tells me that she can't do it without me and that I'm abandoning our child. I said nothing. I couldn't speak. I didn't have it in me to do anything but pack and leave. In the divorce, I let her have the condo, her car, it was in my name. She demanded alimony. I gave it to her for a year, even though she wasn't really entitled to it. She demanded child support, but was denied for obvious reasons. A year later, it was done. A month before the divorce was finalized, I met a woman. I wasn't sure about dating, but my friends encouraged me to get back out there, so I did. It was slow. I told her about my past, She felt really bad for me. We went on dates, we kissed, then she stopped responding to my texts and calls for a week. I didn't know what was happening. She then shows up at my home looking sad. She tells me she's pregnant, to which I think, not again. But she quickly explains that she found out a few days ago she had an appointment that day and was told she was about 16 weeks along. That she did not cheat since we had known each other for 3 months. That she knows this might be somehow triggering for me, that she really likes me, but understands if I want nothing to do with her, and left. Ultimately, I couldn't let her go, and we stayed together. The whole ordeal was a bit confusing at first, but we worked it out. Now, my company is on the rise, and it's been for years. We bought a house, got married, had 2 more kids, a dog, and a cat. Her family loves me, my family loves her. But then, last Saturday, my ex had to appear again. We were in a family gathering on my wife's side when she showed up to wife's aunt's house and exposed me as a horrible person who abandoned her wife and child and left them with nothing to go start a new family and raise someone else's child, and that since I have money, I have to start paying the overdue child support, and blah blah blah. Apparently, she befriended my wife's cousin's wife in the PTA, told her about me, she gave my name, and my wife's cousin's wife was shocked and appalled by my action, and decided they were going to confront me in the family gathering for everyone to hear and show them the evidence. Edit. Me and my wife were inside with one of her sisters getting snacks for the kids when we heard a commotion outside and went to see what was happening. And there she was, halfway through her story, showing IUI documents stating I was part of the process, hence responsible for the child. But if it has my name on it, it's fake. I didn't get to actually read it. I think that's why they believed her so quickly. My wife tried to argue back but was cut by her aunt, cousin's mom, and in not a very nice way, kicked us out with a promise to take my treatment of my ex public and ruin my company. We left stunned, and my wife vowed she was going to start World War III if anyone dared to slander me. On Sunday morning, we got a call from my wife's dad, aunt's brother, to talk about what the texts and voicemails they were receiving were about. They didn't go to the gathering. We went over for lunch and explained everything that happened. They knew I got divorced in the past, but never told them why. They were understanding of the situation, but my mother-in-law still said that I do have money, I should help my ex out, pay the child support, get her a place if she needs it, and be a parental figure in my ex's daughter's life. After all, the child was conceived during your marriage. She has some odd spiritual beliefs. My wife is now mad at her mom for saying that. My wife's siblings are mostly on our side, except one who's close to cousin and cousin believes his wife, and we've been ignoring the extended family. Thank you for effing existing, my dear ex. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, there's one from a user called Revolutionary Yak 47. It says, OP, stop talking to any of these people and get a good lawyer. I know it's hard to not speak up and defend yourself, but you're going to end up in court either over child support or the defamation, and you need legal advice and a strategy before saying anything more. Please protect your assets and lawyer up. OP responded to this comment and said, I think they jumped the gun because me and my wife, along with one of her sisters, were inside grabbing more snacks for the kids, and when we came out to what the commotion was, half her story has already been told, and she made up facts about doing IUI, and she had papers as her evidence. And can she actually take me to court over child support? The kid is obviously not mine. Another user called It's All Mine Now responded to OP here and said, stop arguing with us and argue with a bloody lawyer. Do not minimize this. It could be the demise of your business and your success through malicious slander. Act. OP must have gotten the hint from all the comments on this one because they added an edit onto the story itself. And it says, edit, I didn't think it was such a serious legal issue yet. I thought I couldn't sue her until my company somehow starts suffering from it. But I will call my lawyer tomorrow. Yes, OP, this is exactly what you need to do. We're talking forgery for putting your name on documents that you didn't sign. We're talking defamation for everything they said. And you really don't owe them a single penny for child support. They cheated on you and got pregnant. You have nothing to do with that child. As soon as you found out about it, you cut off the relationship. That child is not yours and not your responsibility. A part of me is thinking that maybe your ex is having issues with baby daddy, and baby daddy isn't taking any responsibility either, so they're coming after you because they need somebody to support them. Everybody's right, OP. Talk to a lawyer, and I hope we get an update. Check out both OPs linked in the description down below. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.